Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. I mean, it's pretty exciting. We're putting on a camp at the Evil Genius House in Queens Creek, Arizona, and basically it's exactly that. We're trying to replicate the Korean pro gamer house, and a lot of critics will be quick to make sure that I state that we are not pro gamers. We are not Nadas or Jadongs or anything like that. None of us, I think, would claim to be on that level. But what we are dedicated RTS gamers with a lot of experience and a lot of time under our belt. And for a lot of people, going to a WCG USA Final LAN, going to DreamHack, or some of these bigger LANs, those kind of things, traveling in the name of StarCraft or StarCraft 2 is a far and away dream. It's something they don't often get to do. So to be able to create an experience where they can go to a place and have their physical gameplay critiqued, as well as their StarCraft gameplay, just their raw mechanics and just the mental aspect of the game, is an extremely, extremely beneficially condensed event. A lot of my growth as a player occurred at LANs. I mean, I can recall in 2007 showing up to the USA Finals with nothing but a mouse pad and being the joke of the tournament because I did what Tasteless later coined as box macro, which was instead of hitting U for Ultralists, I would click on the Ultralist icon. Instead of hitting Z for Zerglings, I was clicking on the Zergling icon, which is an extremely, extremely uneconomical way of doing that. But the reason I did those things is because when I started out as a 11, 12-year-old, that's how I did it. And it was like 5 years before I ever showed up to a LAN. And by that time, you are hard in your ways. Your habits are extremely solidified. So to be able to sit down with other people who might have habits like that and show them how machine macros or LZ gamer micros and those kind of things, it's going to be an extremely beneficial experience. And even just aside from the learning aspect, it does recreate the LAN experience in the sense that we're all going to be playing together. We're going to host a tournament there. There's going to be content. There's going to be videos put online, interviews. It's a lot of. It's going to be a hoot, basically.
Well, right now, obviously, at the time of this recording, 30th of June, there is no beta, but rumors has it soon will. There will be. And of course the game is released in less than a month. So how can gamers participate? Arguably Arizona is a bit far away from most of us, but still, how can one join, and what will they get for doing so?
You mean join the camp? Like how can people...
Yes, join the camp, take part of those services.
Right. People can contact us through gosucoaching.com, or they can go through Team Liquid and just send a private message to me. And you're absolutely right. Traveling to Arizona, paying a fee just to attend, that's all pretty expensive, and a lot of people can't afford that. And that's why we recognize the camp's not for everyone. It's just for the people with the means and the desire. And that's, on some level, that's exclusatory, and I apologize. Of course, we'd love to have 500,000 people there, but it's just not feasible. That said, we will be producing content, like I said, like there will be streams, replays. Psionic Reaver will be interviewing people. He'll be videotaping the whole thing. So hopefully there will be a lot of free and fun content for people to follow the experience and possibly learn a thing or two.
Doesn't sound bad at all, and of course we have to start somewhere, and there is no pro gaming scene established in the West when compared to the infrastructure of South Korea, and this is definitely something that you're trying to create from scratch, something entirely new. So I think we can forgive you for putting it in Arizona due to necessity, and look forward to the video content and see where things take off. Maybe it will be New York City in years to come.
Yeah, one can hope.
One could hope. Many of us certainly do, because I'd like to go to one, but Arizona is a bit far. Still, best of luck with that, and we look forward to hearing more news whenever the game becomes available and to see the content coming up online. But moving on to the future and how it might progress, one of the key elements of building a versatile and enduring professional esports scene with StarCraft 2 is to not only have a handful of celebrity top players, such as names we've mentioned already, but a number of professional teams that train together and compete against each other. Because that would not only improve their collective skill level of the individual players, but it would make it easier to host and organize tournaments, and sponsors would love that just as much as spectators. Do you think this is true, what I'm saying, first of all? And if so, how can this be achieved?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about growth of esports in the West, right?
Based on teams rather than celebrity players, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kind of just to touch on the point I had made with LAN experience and the Pro Gamer replication event, there's just no substitute for that. Like, as much as I would like to admit otherwise, you can sit online with me for 4 to 6 hours, and surely you will improve through my aid and coaching. But really, the best experience a person can ever have is to sit with other community members, that is teammates or clanmates, whatever you want to call it, and really brainstorm and really delve into every aspect of the game, physical and mental, and to just really harp on all the aspects of improvement. And that's what a Pro Gamer House is. I mean, that's why Idra has benefited so tremendously. I mean, he's a very gifted player. He's very dedicated. He'll play 12 hours a day, and that kind of dedication is really hard, especially in a place where he doesn't speak the language. But he's surrounded by superior players and equal players and people who will say, no, this is the better way to do that. And he'll say, okay. And then right there, that little bit of improvement steps him up a little bit more. Whereas you can ladder and you can play against, in tournaments or whatever for ages and never notice a flaw in your game. So in order for esports to really take off and grow in the West, it would be better for us to see more of a team atmosphere. I mean, I think Root Gaming's doing an awesome job starting up that kind of, as their name states, just kind of as a root effort, a grassroots effort. They kind of came out of nowhere, and now they're looking for sponsorship, and I think that's really cool. But like VT Gaming, EG Gaming, all these guys building communities around themselves and improving, that's what's going to make it competitive in the West.
So do you see it happening? I mean, we don't have a game yet, but there are a lot of projections up already. You've been part of Evil Geniuses, EG, for a long time, and you mentioned several other projects. Is it going beyond what's already there? Do you see the signs, or are they just thin hopes, as before?
I mean, absolutely. I can't divulge a lot of detail, but I can tell you, just with myself, I'm already involved with 4 or 5 websites that have yet to been announced, have yet to formulate, that are all looking to get in on this giant conglomeration of gaming communities. I mean, we have WoW, we have Warcraft 3, we have Starcraft, we have, even with the little one coming from
Supreme Commander.
Exactly, thank you. Subcom 2, Subcom 1. I mean, we have all these people just pooling their efforts, and the market, the corporations, they have taken notice. I mean, as I was saying, look, there's $2,000 tournaments, HDH Invitational from IRIP. They're already looking to get established, and that all harkens to kind of like the big storm on the horizon. There's just a lot of people who know what we have, and as Brood War players, I think it's especially exciting to us because, like I was saying at the beginning of the interview, we used to get so excited about like a $500 monthly tournament. Everybody would join.
Yeah, we never had any money.
I know. So I think in the future we're going to be looking at more $10,000, $20,000. Like some of these big tournaments that we used to drool over, I think are going to become a regular event, and I think that's really cool.
Yes, I agree, and it's a very cool time to be a nerd and a StarCraft player at the same time, and to be a part of this spearhead movement. These are very interesting times. And speaking of that, and how that relates to the sort of more general mainstream changing consumption patterns when it comes to digital content, nowadays everyone, hardcore gamers or casual internet users, more and more, at least the way I see it, consume YouTube content or even TV material on the web via their iPhones, iPads, Android devices, anything that allows you to stream content to a mobile thing that you bring with you for your convenience, which makes it very, very easy and cheap to spread and proliferate content that would never make it onto TV, but that can still reach hundreds and thousands and millions of viewers, as it has been shown again by the HGH Invitational. Do you see this as another argument for furthering the spread of this sort of niched yet expanding type of content that StarCraft is, or will it have to go down the TV route to really become a professional sport?
No, I think your analysis on that is exactly right.